I'm sure many of you will have already seen Capcom's latest announcement for the Monster Hunter series, but if you haven't, it's got nothing to do with Monster Hunter Wilds. Instead, it has to do with their new game, which is Monster Hunter Outlanders, a new upcoming free-to-play mobile game developed as a collaboration between the TiMi Studio Group, which is a subsidiary of Tencent, as well as Capcom. Today I want to quickly share my thoughts and opinions regarding this title because it's definitely a game that has a lot of information shared about it already. However, it's a very divisive game as well. So let's go ahead and explore what exactly we're looking into regarding Monster Hunter Outlanders. Now, first of all, I want to say that I genuinely enjoy a lot of the things I'm seeing regarding gameplay for Monster Hunter Outlanders, especially with regards to the gameplay loop and combat. When we take a look at what they're trying to present here, they're trying to present a core gameplay element of the Monster Hunter mainline games, but adding their own unique twist into it, very similar to the portable games, in order to give us a very different experience. And one way they're doing that is by giving us what is basically a building mechanic in the game where you can build different devices in order to help you with your hunt against monsters or traversing the open world. This is very similar to the Karakuri system they had with Koei Tecmo's Wild Hearts game. However, it feels more refined here, and I'm really hoping that this could be something they could add in future Monster Hunter mainline games if they do decide to move this forward outside of Outlanders. Another element of the building mechanic they showcased is building your own base of operations. With Outlanders also being considered as an open-world survival game, base building is one of the key features that sets it apart from mainline titles. One key question I have for this feature though is how significant would it be? Depending on whether it's optional or mandatory, it could potentially disrupt the gameplay loop for certain players, as they'll likely just want to focus on hunting monsters, getting loot, crafting gear, and hunting even more monsters without having to worry about building a base just to have certain amenities. Hopefully more information is released regarding base building to give us an idea as to how they've integrated the feature with our monster hunting experience. In terms of equipment design, Outlanders is staying true to the equipment we're familiar with from Monster Hunter World, to the point that I got a bit of PTSD seeing the template weapons once again. We don't know if we'll be getting any of the Iceborne Master Rank designs added to this title. Hopefully we will. For now though, we're mostly seeing designs from Base World. The pre-made characters for this game have their own unique set of equipment based on returning monsters, and I gotta say, I wish some of these designs would be implemented into mainline Monster Hunter at some point in the future. The Kuliyaku dual blades and Barroth lance are definitely ones I'd love to see become a mainstay in the series. It's likely that these characters will be part of the game's microtransaction, so we can expect more unique equipment designs for these characters based on other monsters that we wouldn't have seen in any other Monster Hunter games. Speaking of characters, we got some rather confusing information regarding characters in this game due to the translation for the producer interview video. Because the translation made next to no sense for me, I used a translator app to see what exactly they were trying to say, and they pretty much confirmed that pre-made characters are optional characters we can choose to play as if we want to. We still have a customizable character in the game, but if we want characters with preset equipment and unique designs to play as, we can use the pre-made characters instead. So it's more along the lines of choosing between our own customizable character where we can change their equipment, or having a preset character with their own specialized equipment. With that said though, one of the key concerns I have with pre-made characters is how balanced they're going to be. If there's potential for them to be overpowered, they could be used as an incentive for us to spend more money on the game, thus making the game a little bit pay to win. I'm really hoping that's not the case here, but knowing free-to-play games, there is potential for that to happen. Now, because this game is going free to play instead of buy to play, the biggest concern many people have are microtransactions. As I previously mentioned, the pre-made characters are likely going to be part of the microtransaction for this game, basically making them gacha characters. However, another concern I have is the equipment themselves. There's potential that the equipment may become part of the microtransaction through some form of paid content to get better stats. Most mainline titles do have some form of monetization these days, however they're mainly cosmetic and don't affect our characters' abilities. With Outlanders being a mobile game, there's definitely that possibility that we get content locked behind some form of microtransaction that just gives us better stats compared to what we would normally get by just grinding in the game. So that's definitely one of the biggest concerns a lot of players would have regarding this title. Other concerns would revolve around the limitations during gameplay. With certain free-to-play games, especially on mobile, they tend to have some form of stamina or energy system that limits players from accessing certain content. Due to Outlanders being a mobile game, there's potential that we see some form of system that limits our playtime with the title. Whilst the initial concept behind a stamina or energy system was to encourage players not to play for prolonged periods of time, the system became predatory. Instead of helping players take a break from playing too long, they now encourage players to pay for refills so they can continue playing the game. If Outlanders follows through with having such a system, it can easily ruin the experience for players, especially if the system encourages players to pay to continue playing the game. I'm hoping this will never happen with Outlanders, but given the history of mobile games and energy systems, no one would be surprised if they added this in the title. Now overall, Monster Hunter Outlanders is looking to be an awesome game. However, there are elements of the game that could deter players from playing it due to the fact that it's a free-to-play mobile game. We can expect great things from Monster Hunter Outlanders. However, given the history of free-to-play and mobile games, there's definitely a level of caution I personally have for this title. I'm optimistic in that it can become a great title on mobile, but I'm also apprehensive about it due to how content may be handled. Once more information releases regarding this game, I'll share more of my thoughts on it. For now though, what do you think about Monster Hunter Outlanders? Let us know in the comments below your overall thoughts and opinions regarding this upcoming free-to-play game on mobile. And as always, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider hitting the like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel, as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any other content that I might be doing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.